Good evening and salutations, my Days of Our Lives fans. Start with Marlena, or Possess Marlena at this point. So she comes over Ben and Ciara's place, and she tells them that John has been abusing her. Okay? Like, she's been abusing her. Now they both kind of just stand there like, what? What's going on? You know, like it's just something that just doesn't sound right. But she says she's going to use the restroom, and she goes in there to kind of freshen up a little bit. And then you see John banging at the door. Just banging at the door. And he's all like, let me in, just being all really loud and everything like that. Now, granted, even before that, Ciara was like, yo, that story doesn't sound right. Like, that's not the John that I know, pretty much. So Ciara's pretty skeptical. She doesn't believe it. I was going to sit there and try to pronounce it, and I knew I couldn't pronounce it, so I said, nay. But Ben is more reason, he's trying to hear her out a little bit. And then John comes banging at the door. And he's all like, let me in, and he starts just going off from Marlene, talking about he's going to kill her, and, he was being easy on her, just acting like a maniac. So I'm sitting there writing in my notes, you are not helping your case. Turns out that when John was with Sean and they were talking and stuff like that, he passed out. He had to want to go to the hospital. So it turns out that Possess Marlena shifted into John, teleported on the other side, and started, making this, the story seem more believable. So when she comes out, she's like, all right, we gotta go. You gotta help me leave. You gotta go with me. I can't do this by myself. But she knows it's kind of a tough decision because they're just like, what? So she uses the restroom again. And Ciara's like, yeah, we can't do that. I just started working again, and you have a job, so we gotta find another way. We can't just leave for an undetermined amount of time. We can't do that. But Ben, Marlena's done a lot for Ben. A lot. Like, literally changed his life for the better. He wouldn't be where he is. They wouldn't even be having that baby if it wasn't for her. So he's like, yo, we gotta do this. I already knew that she was going to convince him to go. And honestly, to tell you the truth, I felt like everyone else knew that Possess Marlena was going to convince him to go. And she does. Ben is like, we're going to go. We'll go with her. Now, Sean is at the hospital as well. He got checked out. He was talking to Steve for a little bit. And he told Bella, like, yo, listen, I got to call this in. I can't just, like, I've been sitting on this for a while, but I can't do that. She's a danger at this point. Like, we gotta take action at this point, whatever that means. So he calls in, the station or whatever, and you see Marlena and Possess Marlena, Ben, and Ciara just leaving town, going, who knows where. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie. I was surprised he actually went at all. I mean, here's the thing. If Ciara wasn't pregnant, then I can see that being more... It'd be more believable as far as, convincing me that they would just up and leave town, but she's pregnant. And you honestly do not sit there and tell me that Ben is just going to convince Ciara, oh, we should all three just go on a run together. Not like, okay, maybe I should go with her for a little bit. No, we should all go. I should bring my pregnant wife with me on a run with her. Because that somehow makes sense. Yep. I did enjoy the interaction between Steve and John. It's amazing that you can sit there and find people that could be your best friend you know, that you could be so close like you are siblings even though you don't share DNA. And so I'm always like in awe, like just, you know, I really enjoy watching John and Steve's friendship. John wants to get out the hospital, but after he collapsed, it's just not going to happen. I mean, apparently he's been thrown around one too many times by, you know, by Marlena, by possessed Marlena. And also being dehydrated and, you know, without food for days probably doesn't help his case, so. But I'm not going to lie, I really did, for a good minute, I really did thought, you know, that was John on the other side, because when you sit there and think about it, John was really anxious to sit there and find Marlena. So I can understand that he would be banging on the door. But when he started sitting there calling her this, that, and the third, and how she was going to get it, it was like, the hell is going on? Also, it kind of helped that they showed John at the hospital, so there's that. Now let's get to Brady, which is at the bar, looking at a drink, called Maggie to kind of talk him down off the ledge. Now the reason why he's, you know, at that point is two reasons. One, because of Kristen. One, because of Kristen and everything that she's put him through, that she's put their daughter through. It's a lot. And then the other thing is Chloe. He still has feelings for her. You know, he's trying to somewhat respect, you know, at least her relationship with Philip. Of course, he did point out with Maggie that there's been a couple of times he's been pretty much kind of poking the bear. So he's been just reconciling with that. Talked about Marlena and the strange advice that Marlena gave him. They do eventually learn, you know, because Brady's like, he's on the phone, he's like, oh, okay. No wonder why that advice sounds so damn strange. And he tells Maggie, yeah, no easy way to sit there and put this, Marlena's been possessed by the devil. Again. And it sucks too, because it's one of those things where it's like, it's not something saying it couldn't happen again, but it's been so long that it's like, you're just kind of just going on with your life or whatever. Like, after a couple of years, you're just like, alright, I'm good. And then that happens. Meanwhile, you got, oh yeah, and Bella was there. She didn't really do too much of anything like that. She did talk to Sean. She was happy to sit there and see John, and made sure that he was not getting out that bed to go and try to find Marlena. Now, Chloe and Philip spend some time together, and the whole time, you know, Philip is just mad, resentful, plotting, and what I don't understand is that he didn't confront her about it. And I don't know what he's waiting for, because he's already convinced in his head that she is, well, having sex with Brady. I mean, hell, he overheard, you know, Chloe or Brady, I can't figure out which one, talking about how they had sex on the conference table. And how they can't, you know, oh, you know, Philip can never sit there and hear about this. And it was one of those things, it was like, it was just the perfect, I mean, in soap opera fashion, the perfect way of, you know, convincing him that she stepped out with him on somebody else. Given his jealousy, his paranoia, it's not that stretch. It's not that far of a stretch for him to sit there and believe it. I mean, how? They practically just put in the words right into his head. So he's sitting there talking to Chloe, and, you know, Chloe wants to sit there and try to water the plant. Of course, she has flashbacks of him ripping it right out. You know, it's just one of those things where it's like, you know, the first time, and granted, I think that actually did happen. or I don't know. Either Chloe did actually cheat on him when he chopped down the tree afterwards, or he thought that Chloe cheated on him. Either way, whenever Chloe cheats on him, he's chopping some down. Okay, he's chopping down a tree, or I don't know. So anyway, this whole time he's sitting there talking to her, and Chloe's all like, "Oh well, I got something to sit there and tell you." Talks about how Lucas and him saw both her and Brady at the Salem Inn. And of course she's like, nothing happened or anything like that, but I thought you were just gonna fly out the handle. I've been waiting for you to say something, but you didn't say anything, and I'm glad because this shows progress that you're trusting me. And of course Philip in his double talk is like, yeah, well, there's nothing without trust. I mean, trust is everything. I'm just sitting there waiting, because after she leaves, Philip was all like, oh, well, they're not going to sit there and make a fool out of me. Well, first of all, this whole thing, and I've said this before, is that in a lot of ways, Chloe isn't good for Philip. Because she does things that she knows that would make him jealous, that would make any man jealous. But then she'll sit there and snap at him, be all like, oh, well, you don't trust me. Nothing happened. We had to sit there and share a bed. Listen, flip side, if the roles were reversed, and he had to somehow share a bed with Bella, you honestly sit there and tell me that she would be okay with it? Because she wouldn't be. She wouldn't be at all. And it's just the way that she disrespects him, as far as their relationship goes. And then she acts like it's just not that big of a deal, and you gotta trust me, blah, blah, blah. Like, granted, Philip definitely has trust issues, paranoia, and it's not a good look. It's really not a good look. But Chloe really doesn't help out with that either. And so she's been kind of pissing me off, to be honest. I think that's about it for the most part. I felt like I forgot a couple of things, but the majority of it I think I pretty much kind of covered. Before I go, so me and Soap Sanctuary, formerly known as DC Soap Sanctuary, we're going to be doing another collab. And this time, I don't remember, we're doing our best and worst couples of this year. I don't remember if it's top 3 or top 5. I gotta kind of sit there and talking about that. But our best from like best to worst or whatever. We're gonna be doing that. So if you just let us know, on his channel, on my channel, what kind of couples, what are the best couples, or what is your best couple and what is your worst couple and why, of this year. I say this year because I've kind of been watching it since this year. I think I watched a little bit last year too, but kind of stopped. But yeah, we're doing the best and worst of couples from, well, this whole year. So any suggestions will definitely help, and yeah, I'm looking forward towards that collab. With that being said, I'm going to go. I want to thank everyone for watching. Be safe. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. And I will see you in the next video.